Microsoft killed WordPad. Let's bring it back from the dead. Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. WordPad is a wonderful little, very lightweight word processing program that's been part of Windows, honestly, for decades. Unlike Notepad, which acts only on absolutely plain text, WordPad allows you to use rich text, meaning you can do things like bold and italics and different fonts and colors and formatting and pictures and all sorts of stuff. Microsoft removed it from Windows 11. You may still have it in your installation, but new installations of Windows 11 will find that it's just not present. As it turns out, it's super easy to get this handy, lightweight word processing program back. Let's do that. The magic, if you want to call it that, is to grab it from another installation of Windows that still has it, and that can include Windows 10. So I'll use Windows 10 as our source. Now, all you really need to do is fire up Windows File Explorer. We're going to go and look at the C drive in Program Files, Windows NT, Accessories. And there you will find WordPad, WordPadFilter.dll, and then this folder en-us. That folder may have a different name for you if you're not English speaking or in the United States or whatever it is that causes Windows to choose a different name of that folder for you. But the bottom line here is that this is all you need. In fact, all we need to do is copy these files into the same place on a Windows 11 machine that doesn't have them. Now, there are a couple of different ways to do this. One of the approaches, of course, would be to, say, select them all and then drag and drop them to, say, a USB stick. If your machines are nearby, copy all of these files, including whatever is in that folder, to a USB stick so that you can take it to a different machine. I'm going to do this a little differently. I'm going to use OneDrive for this because both of the machines that I'm playing with right now are signed into the same OneDrive account. So what that means is all I really need to do is drag and drop them to OneDrive. I'm going to open another instance of Windows File Explorer, navigate it to OneDrive. I'm going to create a folder specifically for this. I'll call it WordPad Files. And I will just drag and drop to copy. Now this says create a link. Note then that I need to hold down either Shift or Control, I think it is. There we go. So this is a control drop to actually copy the files to this folder. And boom, there they are. We now have them in our OneDrive folder that we can now access from elsewhere. That elsewhere is our Windows 11 machine. So here we are in Windows 11. Once again, we'll fire up Windows File Explorer. We'll navigate over to my OneDrive folder, and sure enough, there's this new folder called WordPad Files that contains my WordPad files. The catch is that in order to copy these files into where they need to go, you need to do that as administrator. In other words, it's not enough to be signed into an administrator-capable account. You actually have to be running as administrator in order to copy those files into what is essentially a system-reserved area. So the way to do that, the way that I'm going to do it anyway, is to right-click on Start button, click on Terminal Admin. You may see Command Prompt Admin. You may see PowerShell Admin. Doesn't matter. Any of those will do. We are now running as administrator. Because I'm more comfortable in the literal command prompt, I'm just going to type CMD and poof, we are now in a normal traditional command prompt. If we go over to Program Files, Windows NT, Accessories, which is where we would expect or we would want WordPad to be, if we do a dir, we'll see that there's nothing there. And in fact, that en-us folder is also empty. In order to copy the files from our OneDrive into this location, then I'm going to use the xcopy command. I choose xcopy space /s because of the /s parameter. /s says, don't just copy the files that you find there, copy the subfolders and the files within those subfolders and the folders within those subfolders. It copies the entire folder tree that it finds. From users, askleo, OneDrive, WordPad files. That's where we place them in our OneDrive. Now I'm going to be extra explicit. I'm going to say star.star, which means copy all the files or everything you find there. And then I'm going to go space dot. Dot always represents the current folder. Our current folder, as you can see from the command prompt here, is C, program files, Windows NT, accessories. That's the folder where we want these files to be placed. Boom. The files have been put there. If I do a dir, you'll see that, sure enough, there they are. There's WordPad. Now, if I navigate over to that location in Windows File Explorer, NT, accessories, WordPad.exe. Boom. There it is. There's our old friend WordPad in Windows 11 where it hadn't been provided to us before. Now, there are a couple of things that you'll want to do to make this a little bit easier. Yes, in order to run WordPad, you can absolutely do what I just did. Navigate to that specific folder and double-click on WordPad.exe. But that's a bit of a pain, especially if you do it a lot. So I'm going to give you 3 different ways to make it easier. First one is to, while it's running, right-click on its icon and click on Pin to Taskbar. Boom. Now, even if we close WordPad, I'm going to go ahead and close the folder at this point, Windows File Explorer, you'll see that WordPad is there, ready to go on our taskbar. If I click it, boom, there's WordPad once again. Option number 2, right-click on that icon again, but this time right-click on Windows WordPad application. Then you'll be given the option to Pin to Start. Same thing as Pin to Taskbar, except it does it to the Start menu. So now we'll go ahead and close it again. Click on the Start menu, and sure enough, there it is, Windows WordPad ready for us to run. Now, I'm not going to run it this time. What I'm going to do instead is give you the third option, and that is to create a shortcut to it. I'm going to right-click on the desktop, click on New Shortcut. Type the location of the item. I'm not going to type, I'm going to browse. And you can guess where I'm going to browse to. I'm going to go to this PC, local disk, program files, Windows NT, accessories. And there it is, WordPad.exe. We'll say OK, click on Next. The name is WordPad.exe. That may be sufficient for you. If you want it to be a little, I don't know, prettier, you can change it. I just call it WordPad and click on Finish. And there you have it, a shortcut on your desktop or wherever you might want to place a shortcut that will also run WordPad. There you have it. WordPad is back in Windows 11. All you needed to do was copy it from another machine. Now, there's one final, I'll say, bonus approach to doing this. Let's say you don't have another machine, but you do have image backups. If you've got image backups from any machine, Windows 10, Windows 11 before it was removed, or wherever, you can do exactly what we did here, except you can get the files from within that image. Any of those old backup images that still have WordPad. Same idea. You grab those files from the image and copy them into this location. That's really all it takes. Hope that's helpful. I hope you enjoy continuing to use WordPad. For updates, for comments, for links related to this topic and more, visit askleo.com/179007. I'm Leo Notenboom, and this is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.